Well, fellas, we're here, and I'm about to throw up. As promised in my last video on Jumpstart First Grade, we will be creating and eating bug pizzas inspired by the minigame where we feed bug pizzas to children. Well, that's really all there is to it. But why edible bugs? Why would I be promoting something that the Ubisoft CEO would unironically force his employees to eat? Why would I be doing this? Well, it's not too crazy considering people have been eating bugs for thousands of years. It's just that simple. It's still something that humans do to this day. We've even gotten smart enough to where we encase them in sugar and call it enjoyable. I will never be trying one of these. You can't force me to. I will never do it. This looks disgusting. But before the BlackRock team comes in here and tries to recruit me for their propaganda campaign, let me make it clear that I don't think you should be forced to eat bugs. If you want to eat bugs, cool, I don't care. If you don't want to eat bugs, then don't eat the bugs. Don't force people to do what they don't want to do. Period. But today we will be eating some bugs, and I will let you know how they taste from a non-bug eating connoisseur like myself. So let's get cooking. Alright fellas, welcome to my kitchen. It's a little bit messy in here, but I don't care. I'm rolling with it. I'm feeling lazy today, and I want to get these pizzas done with. So I've gone ahead and opened all the packages up. I have them laid down here. You can't see them yet, but I will show you. The only trouble that I'm going to have is the scorpions, and I don't know what I really expected. I really should have just looked at the online posting before I bought it, but this is it.
Bitch, I can't see!
I feel like the scorpion is going to get a little bit of an advantage on the others in case they're bad. If that's the case, I'm docking a couple of points from it. But we'll see. Maybe the taste of scorpion is so overwhelmingly powerful that it completely blows all of these out of the water. I don't know, but we're finna find out. All right, fellas, we have all of our bugs laid out here in bags. I've given them a good sniff. Some of them are I'm gonna tell you right now, some of them are horrid. They are terrible, and I hate them. Bugs! I'm gonna start with probably the main event, the scorpions. I'm just gonna put them on the pizza, like on a specific spot. That way I get like the crunch for it. Because if I just grind these up, I feel like that's not gonna be a fair assessment. That's kind of cheating in a way. I'm not gonna be really eating the bug. Next up are the bamboo worms. These smell like regular chips, believe it or not. This is actually probably the tamest one. Yeah, I don't know. That's not what I was expecting. I was expecting a big old fat worm like how you see here, but I guess that's, you know, you can't dehydrate them and keep them fat, so that makes sense. Next are the black crickets. Crickets are probably the most familiar thing that you see people eating aside from grasshoppers. These smell like crickets. I don't really care much for them. Growing up here in Texas, we get crickets every now and then during the summer, and it's horrible. They smell terrible. I'm not as scared to eat this one as I am the beetles and the ants, if I'm being honest. And since I was talking about it, the ants, good God, dude, these are terrible. They smell awful. I promise, I just choked on spit. I'm not smelling them, but if I did smell them, I would have the exact same reaction. These are very fragile. Like, I can barely touch them and they just kind of crumble. There's a clump of ants right there. All right, the dung beetles. There's actually a mix of them. There's 4 different kinds, or maybe this is like the baby and this is the adult. I don't know my bugs. But anyways, these smell pretty bad too. Definitely not as bad as the ants, but this one was pretty gnarly. I have to be real with you. But when you're pushing around shit all day, I mean, sure, you're probably gonna smell bad. That's why they're called dung beetles, right? Is that like a thing they do? They push around poop? They're poop pushers. And lastly, we have the bug kebab. Now, this is kind of a cheat one for me because it's actually 2 bugs in one. It's grasshoppers and silkworms. So yeah, I decided to get the bug kebab instead because I couldn't just find regular grasshoppers. So whatever, you know, I got this one. It comes with silkworms. It is what it is. All right, so that's the bugs. We're gonna go ahead and start grinding up the cheese. We're gonna put that in the fridge, and then we're gonna go ahead and make the sauces directly after. Shredding this cheese was by far the most pleasant experience of this whole ordeal because this is the first time that I've used this hand crank shredder, and fellas, let me tell you, it was astonishing how well this worked. For a $20 little gadget at Walmart that I found, this was phenomenal. It turned, you know, a possible 30-minute job into like 3.5 minutes. Seriously, get you one of these shredders. If you're in the market for a shredder of any kind, get you one of these. It will make your life so... But before you go off shredding anything, be sure to get a bowl big enough, otherwise you'll encounter some spillage like I did. Up next was making the sauce for the recipes. In this recipe, I used 10 cups of I don't know, followed by 25 teaspoons of I forgot. Sorry, fellas, I don't remember what I put in this, but rest assured that they're all the same. I remember doing it precisely when I made it, but I don't remember what I put in it, and yeah. Look, you make your sauces however you want to make your sauce. This is how I make it. But the ingredients that I did add to this was black pepper, oregano, garlic powder, and onion powder. So that's it. If you want to know what I put in it, that's it. You can put however much amounts that you want in yours. But you may be asking, hey, where the heck is the salt? Are you gonna put any salt in there? But no, I'm not, because the bugs themselves were salted. In fact, that was the only ingredient added to these bugs. So I decided to add the bugs directly into the sauce itself, because I thought, hey, that'll make it interesting. I can maybe crush these bugs up and put them into the sauce, right? That was the idea. Let me tell you, these bugs just were not having it. They did not want to be crushed up into the sauce, surprisingly, so I did the best that I could. McNilo, why didn't you use the mortar and pestle that you used in the ketchup video to grind up these bugs? Surely that would have worked, wouldn't it? Listen, if I were to use the mortar and pestle to grind up these bugs, I wouldn't have felt safe using it for anything else. Do I use this mortar and pestle to begin with? No, I don't. I keep it in my kitchen to look fancy and pretend like I'm a pro chef. But if I were to do it, then I wouldn't have trusted using it at all, and I would be seeing those divorce papers faster than I already have been by making this video. These bugs have not only taken a toll on my mental psyche, but my marriage as well. I know she's sleeping with those cicadas, I just know it, I know she's doing it! Anyways, here's our sauces, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a quick moment to introduce ourselves to the abominations I've created, starting with the ants. Stinky, oily, and scary to touch. Next are the dung beetles, which made the sauce very clumpy. I was tempted to stick my hand in there and crush them up. This would be a great sauce to play with. Give it to your kids, see what they do with it. The crickets are next, and this one was terrible. It's almost like crickets are made up of multiple layers of purely just wings.
Oh my God.
If you've ever smashed a cricket on the ground in your life, imagine taking that and putting it into a sauce, and that's what you get. I'm telling you these things like they're not the most obvious descriptions ever. You want to know what bugs in sauce looks like? Imagine bugs in some sauce. The bamboo worms were probably the most normal, except they began soaking up the tomato sauce juices pretty quickly and just became really bendy, or just soaked enough to be chewy, like a tough chewy, not a pleasant chewy. Not good. This is not at all pleasant. This would not be a good sauce to play with. Finally, we have the bug kebab, which included the grasshoppers and the silkworms. Now, the silkworms completely turned into dust. I'm not even kidding. They disappeared into the sauce like they were Thanos snapped out of existence. And I don't want to go further into this one, to be honest with you. This is the one sauce that I vividly remember tasting, and I don't want to go into it. I don't want to dive into it. And of course, the scorpions don't get a special treatment because they only came with 2. So, sorry, Scorpion fans, you will have to wait until the next Mortal Kombat game before I get more. All right, fellas, here's our sauces. I'm getting more worried about doing this. I ended up getting pre-made crusts for this video because I was just lazy, but I kind of wish I just made my own dough instead because this pre-made stuff sucks. Bro, why? If you want to be a real pro, you can be like me and brush on some olive oil to crisp up your crust a bit beforehand. If you want to really be a pro, you can spill some on your counter like I did, just to crisp up your countertop a bit beforehand. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth has arrived. I've finished cooking the crust, letting it kind of brown up, crisp up a little bit, and now it is time to add the sauces, add our toppings, and cook the pizzas. Spreading these sauces ranged from downright difficult to just plain odd. But I'm not gonna lie, some of these pizzas turned out looking pretty nice, and you'd be lying to yourself if you think otherwise. Yeah, Yeah, I said it to you. I said it. You're lying. You are lying that if you think that this does not look aesthetically pleasing. You're a liar. I know you are. So here's our contestants. You can see our good buddy Scorpions made an appearance, but they're such a C-tier character that they won't last long. Now let me run this one by you. If you were to, say, cook these pizzas in the oven, do you think that they would stink up my entire house? Or do you think that they would smell fantastic and make the entire house smell wonderful? Because it's the latter. I'm serious. These smelled great. These smelled great. These looked great. And you'd be lying to yourself if you think otherwise. But will these pizzas taste as good as they look? Or will I have just wasted all my money on this? Well, I'll give you a hint. My wallet is about as empty as my stomach.
So make of that what you will.
So, let's get to ranking these. Oh, hey, by the way, I meant to tell you that I actually fucked up a little bit. I didn't realize the green screen wasn't covering like half of the background here when I sat down at this table that I have in front of me. So you're just gonna have to deal with half a green screen and this portion back over here. Sorry, I didn't know, but I know for next time. Okay, so yeah, enjoy the ranking.
Fuck out of my sight.
All right, fellas, we're here. We have our pizzas right in front of us. They don't look too bad, honestly. They smelled really good. We will be using the Newgrounds content rating system. So if you're not familiar with that, don't worry. It's 0 through 5 or 1 through, I don't know, something like that. It's pretty simple. We also have our trusty Coke Zero. Coke Zero. I think I'm going to choose the bamboo worms first because that one is the least scary. Okay. Well, the pizza sauce is good, I'll tell you that much. The worms themselves, it doesn't really taste like anything. It's very chewy. It's probably because it soaked up a lot of the sauce, a lot of the oils maybe. Let me get a different bite real quick, and let me see if that's any different. Yeah, I mean, it's really a texture thing. They taste pretty bland. It almost tastes kind of plasticky, if I'm being honest. Actually, the more that sits in my mouth, it tastes kind of like wood. But the pizza itself, it's not terrible. I mean, it kind of tastes pretty standard with something on it that's just kind of like, you know, like it makes it a little unpleasant to eat, but it's not, the taste itself is not kill you, you know? So I'm gonna put this at a 2. Nothing too new or interesting. I think that's a pretty solid one. All right, that's a good start. I think let's go a little bit more crazy, and we're gonna go straight for the crickets. Definitely a lot more of an intimidating approach. This one also definitely has much more of a stronger flavor to it than the worms. You can definitely taste the cricket itself. Wow, that is unpleasant. Yeah, it's also like, that's like falling apart in my teeth and getting in my teeth. That's not... The crickets fell apart in my mouth. I didn't like that. There was a noticeable crunch, but it wasn't good. The taste does not complement this pizza at all. The bamboo worms kind of did. It was just the texture, but this one, no, this one has a much dirtier taste to it. I don't really know how to explain it. It pretty much tastes like you think it would taste. The biggest thing right now, it's like this cricket skin or whatever the hell. I feel it in the back of my throat like my wife's boyfriend. I don't like this one. This is a solid 1. This isn't very good. Wow. Wow. All right, let's go to the other side. Let's do the bug kebab. This one has a mixture of the grasshoppers and silkworms, so this might be kind of interesting. Nope. That tastes like fucking chemicals. I don't know which one it is, but that was like a overwhelming taste of this chemically taste. It's a dusty, chemically taste. And I actually liked the crunch on that one. That one was pleasant, but that taste, no. Blam this, please. 0. All right, which one do I do fucking first? The ants or the dung beetles? I think unironically the ants are gonna be better. All right, ants, here we go. This one gets me.
O universo não se importa comigo. Ninguém se importa se eu vivo ou morro, nem mesmo o meu pai. Em outras palavras, minha vida...
I'm trying so hard. Now, initially when I opened up this bag of ants, it was the worst smelling one. This was terrible. Why was I struggling? Actually, like I'm not even kidding, that face was that was legit. Like, it almost makes me angry. It made me angry eating this because of this pokes in your mouth. Like, I was getting stabbed in my mouth. I was getting stabbed in my throat. I don't know what part of the ant it is. Maybe it's all the legs on here that looks like I'm eating my shaved beard. But that was not pleasant. Like, the taste is fine. There is no taste. You don't taste the ants at all. So I don't know which is worse. I hate ants. I'll tell you this. I hate ants. Ants are the worst, most annoying, piss off little insect ever next to mosquitoes. I think I'm gonna give this a 0 as well. Blam this, please, because this isn't spit it out. Like, that's two different emotions. One of them was disgust. This one's just anger. Pure anger. Get this the fuck away from me. All right. I have one more. Besides the scorpions. The scorpions I feel like aren't even going to be ranked just because there's only 2 of them and I feel like I won't be able to judge them properly. The dung beetles are next. Fingers fucking crossed. This one at least looks pretty. Like, this could be something.
I got the fucking munchies.
I spit this out for a different reason. I was able to chew everything. I'm serious. The cheese, the dough, the sauce, everything except for the exoskeleton of these dung beetles. It's almost like a popcorn kernel that you're chewing up, except you can't chew the popcorn kernel. It just bends and flexes and stays there, and it's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in your mouth. I'm staying in your teeth. Good luck. This one is riding off the coattails of the ants, but this one didn't nearly piss me off as much because it didn't hurt me. This isn't very good. One. Last and fucking certainly least, I hope, is the scorpions, I suppose. I don't know. Whatever. As I expected, I can't really rank this. I didn't taste anything. There was a little bit of texture, like it was tougher than everything. It was much more brittle than all these other ones. You know, I tried going in the middle of it to kind of like snap it, that way I can get it, but there's not enough. There's not enough scorpions in here to make me really give a solid answer whether I like it or not. I mean, I would like to say that, yeah, scorpion was fine because it doesn't taste like anything, but I can't give you a conclusive answer with that one. So with that being said, I'm giving it a loose number 3. Not bad. In fact, I like it. I never truly thought that I would get so angry eating pizza before, but one thing I have learned from all this is that the bugs themselves aren't necessary. Okay, one was gross. One was very gross. I actually spat it out. Which one was it? The bug kebab? That was terrible. That was awful. That tasted terribly. But the majority of these bugs did not taste bad. They are just annoying to eat. And I don't know, maybe it's different when it's like completely dehydrated. Maybe you're supposed to like just pop them in like they're a dry snack and you're not supposed to put them on anything. I don't know. I don't know. I actually feel like it's probably not that different. I feel like it's not that different. I feel like this stuff is still going to get in your teeth. It's still going to make a mess in your mouth. You're still going to have a bad time eating it, especially the ants. Fuck them ants, bro. They're terrible. So, well, I won't be doing this again. I hope that you won't do this either. There's nothing to be gained from this. This was $50 and $50 wasted. But maybe not. Maybe you really enjoyed this and you really appreciated the $50 I spent. In which case, I hope so. Shit, man. Shit. I'm just angry. I'm not in a good mood now. I need to go for a run. I was expecting to eat a lot of pizza today, but that won't be happening. But anyways, fellas, that's pretty much it. Until next time, I'm just gonna go lay down. So, see you later.